What up guys, welcome to the vlog. It is Saturday morning here in Melbourne and I thought I'd give you a quick update on my nutrition, how I'm going with my reverse diet, what my body weight's doing, and I also wanted to give you a quick little story about what happened on Thursday night when I completely blew out my calories and I overate, and I want to tell you what I did about it. So first things first, we've made two changes to my nutrition over the past couple of weeks on this reverse diet. So the best example I can use for you guys is, let's say that my maintenance calories is here. I finished my contest prep down here and now my calories are about there. So I'm actually still in a calorie deficit, which is something you guys can really take away from this, is you don't have to be in a drastic calorie deficit, or you don't have to drastically cut calories to lose fat. As long as you're in a calorie deficit of some sort, you will make progress. It'll just take a lot longer if the deficit isn't as large. So at the moment I'm probably only in, let's say, 1 to 200 calorie deficit, if that, which means I'm not going to be putting on body fat at a really fast rate. I'm not really going to be putting on weight fast at all, if any weight. But in terms of losing more fat, you know, the extra food may help me train a little harder, which means I'll expend more energy, which means I will lose fat. But I'm not going to be, you know, dropping fat at the rate I was when I was getting ready for my competition, because my calorie deficit is a lot smaller. So we've made two changes and they've basically been to my fat intake. So to be perfectly honest, I'm probably not going to continue to increase my fat intake as much after this week. So currently on training days, my fat is up to 120 grams. And on my rest day, my fat is anywhere between 170 and 190, which is crazy high. I've only got one rest day for the week, and that's on a Sunday. My carbohydrates on training days are 260 grams, so still low, but keep in mind that my fats are a lot higher, so the calorie intake is still, you know, where it needs to be. So I've actually increased calories only coming from fats though, which is a little bit different to what I've done in the past. On my rest day, my carbohydrates are at 50 grams, so really low, but keep in mind I just said that my fats are at 170 to 190, which is a lot. So that's really the only changes I made. Like I've said, I think I'm still in probably 1 to 200 calorie deficit, so I'm still in a state where my training intensity is up through the roof. I'm expending a lot of energy, and I'm still in a state where I can lose fat and actually get a little bit leaner. Now, what I plan to do over the next couple of weeks is only slightly increase calories. I think my calories will probably increase by maybe 100 to 200 max over the next few weeks, because I want to stay around maintenance at least for probably November and December. You know, it's nearly summer here in Melbourne, so I want to actually make the most of a lean physique and enjoy summer being nice and lean. There's no point in getting shredded for winter and then just putting on a heap of fat coming into summer. So that's the plan of attack. Supplement wise, I'm just using whey protein to hit my protein targets for the day. Still having acetyl L-carnitine in the mornings, 5 grams of creatine monohydrate pre-workout when I feel like it. I'm having the Delta Zone by BPM Labs before I go to sleep, and some magnesium oil, also a multivitamin in the morning. What else? Cardio. I'm still probably only not doing much at all really, but I'm going to add in probably 1 to 2 sessions a week, maybe 3, which will obviously increase my energy expenditure, which means I may have to increase calories more than what I actually expected. But I have the 24-hour sled challenge coming up on December 8th till 9th, which is where I'm going to be pushing a sled continuously for 24 hours to raise money for Beyond Blue, which is going to be awesome. It's actually hopefully going to be here at the Glass House. We've got some exciting partners that are going to jump on board, and a lot of people that are willing to help out, which is going to be awesome. It's an idea that I had a long time ago, but in terms of the actual sled challenge, I knew that I wanted to do something to raise money for Beyond Blue, but in terms of the sled challenge, I thought of that while I was in the USA, so while I was in LA, and it's finally kind of all coming together now. And the more I think about it, the worse it sounds. It sounds good in theory, doing a 24-hour sled challenge, but it's a long time. But so I'm gonna have to increase my aerobic capacity for that, which I'll show you guys kind of what I do and let you know what I do for my conditioning. You know, so far this week all I've done was Literally I did 10 intervals on the rower the other day, and then I did 7 intervals on the sled, and that's all I've done. So still not much. I would like to maybe add in a run to kind of increase that that aerobic base, and then really just obviously bump up the amount of sled work I'm doing to help with adapting to that, and just increase my aerobic and anaerobic capacity there. I absolutely love the sled in terms of getting fit and using it for conditioning, so that's probably what I'll do. And now lastly, so Thursday night, Sam and I, as you saw, went and stayed. So you would have saw in yesterday's vlog that Sam and I went and stayed at Crown. So what I'd actually done was, on Wednesday I reduced my calorie intake by roughly, trying to think of how much it was, roughly 400 to 500 calories. And then on Thursday I created a bit of a calorie buffer, so I reduced my carbohydrates for most of the day and a little bit of fats also. So then at night time for dinner, I had about 1,000 to maybe 1,500 calories left over to go and have dinner, so I could basically have whatever I want without stressing about it and making sure that I'm still in a calorie deficit for the week and I haven't blown out my calories. Now, we went out for dinner, and I'd planned to have maybe like a steak, some chips, some veggies, and maybe a glass of wine or two. We went to Rockpool at Crown, and what I had for dinner was, so I had half a chicken, which was in this sauce, which was like fucking amazing, but I'm not too sure what it was. I had a whole bowl of grilled broccoli, which was really bloody good. I didn't know that broccoli could taste so good. I had half a bowl of chips, and so that's pretty much like what I'd planned to have. But then the mac and cheese came out, and I ate most of that. Come on, can't say no to mac and cheese. And also had a little bit of bread before we had dinner as well. Now, was it kind of out of control? No, it wasn't. Like, I consciously made the decision to eat mac and cheese and to eat bread. I wasn't just binging or anything like that. We hadn't eaten in a while. It was, we went to Crown for Sam's birthday, and also because she finished uni the other day. So, I didn't want to be restrictive, and I have no reason to be either. I'm not competing again anytime soon. So I decided to overeat. So that 1,500 calorie buffer, which would have been maximum that I'd allowed myself, I actually went over by, I'd say, probably like 1,000 calories. So I put myself above where I actually needed to be by about 1,000 calories. So for most people, what I would recommend is the goldfish mentality. Just forget about it and move on, especially if it's only slightly over your calorie intake. The worst thing you can do the next day is drastically cut calories, overtrain, feel bad about it, and feel guilty. There's no need for that. But considering I want to keep this reverse diet accountable and make sure that I'm keeping track of my progress and staying accurate, what I did the next day, so yesterday, is just slightly decrease my calories by about 500. I didn't do anything crazy in terms of heaps of cardio or extra training. I just reduced my calorie intake by about 500 to kind of minimize the amount of calories that I will go over my average this week. Now, keep in mind, because I'm in a deficit, even though I'm probably going to be about 500 calories over from the other day, even with the fact that I took 500 out yesterday, my average for the week is still going to be in a deficit, so I'm fine. I didn't feel guilty, I didn't feel bad about it. I had a great time. It was extremely nice food. I might even put a picture up on the screen somewhere, like over here maybe. The food was unfucking believable, and I feel good. Like I had a really good training session yesterday. That was a bonus. Will and I and Paddy trained legs and just crushed it. It was an awesome workout. And today I've got a upper body push and pull. So that's just a bit of an update, guys. My weight this morning was 77.8, so literally less than a kilo up from my stage weight, and we're about 3 weeks post competition, so everything's going really well. Hope this update's been informative for you guys and you've enjoyed it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you in the next vlog.